You can mark it by like timeline by what game releases.
These 5A releases, they take people away from Smash sometimes.
Yeah. Overwatch hit on this date.
Yeah.
We saw a tournament.
Yeah.
Anyways,
MNM got that 30 player attendance, Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. It's a straight nerd smell. Yep. I'm gonna bring some of those those strips they use in like doctor's offices to wake you up when you pass out, like peppermint or whatever.
We need like some Febreze grenades or something.
Straight
just,
up,
like,
dude.
Throw it into the crowd of people.
Pretty righteous. There was a tournament a long, long time ago where they actually handed out deodorant at the door.
Dang.
Yeah. We have not gone beyond that being a good idea. Double Fox, all right.
Yeah, so we are seeing the Peach. I was kind of worried we were going to see the Fox and Cole, but I'm kind of glad we're seeing this instead.
Yeah,
what happened?
I'm not sure how you end up striking to this stage has 2 floaties against 2 Foxes, unless you just think like your forward smashes and down smashes are that good. Because he will kill you at 90.
Or less.
Yep.
Man, watching Lunchables like move around in doubles, like he already has incredible movement. It's really impressive to see a player maintain that kind of movement, even in a doubles environment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean that was the wrong choice in singles too, right? Like either he was trying to tech badly or he meant to do something else, which I would bet it's the latter. I think it's pretty interesting that Gabe and Thoraxe are being able to survive this nonsense, because it is just so tough to not get hit by those giant moves, man. And especially as like a character where you really have to be on top of somebody and you have to worry about hitting your teammate and everything. It's a real tough thing to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like knock Marth really hard in doubles. They're like, Marth's not a good character. Marth's not a good doubles character. Marth can function in doubles. I mean, I don't know what people like. Obviously, he's not quite as strong as someone probably like as Fox or maybe Sheik or Puff or something like that. But like,
I think
one of the best teams in the world sports a Marth player. Like, he can function just fine.
Yeah, and maybe that's just the truth being that people don't know how to play with Marths.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there is a right and wrong way to play with a character that has a lot of range, and obviously the wrong way is to get on top of him so he's constantly running away from his teammate, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like in this case, I mean, Cole pretty much, he has the ability to kind of, if you come over here, I'm going to hold down and I'm going to down smash you. Which isn't to say that that's all he's doing, but the ability to do that makes it scary to roll away from Marth, makes you feel like I need to stay in my shield and I need to try to fight off the pressure that Marth has, which, a lot of times gets you grabbed.
Yeah. I mean, Peach just the threat of Peach. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say Peach's down smash is the best move in doubles. Maybe rest beats it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is a really interesting ending. Thoraxe and Lunchables.
I love this ending. This is great.
Two of our PR'd players, which I will be saying a lot tonight, are going to basically fight a singles match one stock. Yeah, it's a good pivot. I really have to say that Lunchables' speed is really, really nice to watch.
Yeah, it's we went to Olympus and Lunchables got to play against. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I feel your pain, Thoraxe. I feel it.
Cole's like, nice taunt, man. Yeah, that was sick. Nice taunt.
We went to Olympus and and Lunchables sat down and he played Lucky, and like at the end of their play session, Lucky just goes, man, that kid is fast. And we're like, yeah, we know.
Dude, he is so fast.
He's so fast.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, honestly. Like, I really have a lot of respect for people who can do that and think while they play, because it's not easy. And that's why you get stuck at the low mid level, is because you can't do both. And, like, just stringing moves together isn't going to get you to where you want to be, You really have to be able to know when you have to guess and when it's okay to do your, forward air down smash as Peach or some guaranteed string of moves.
I think that's like why Melee is like so beautiful, because you have like these players that their hands surpass their minds, or their minds can't keep up with their hands.
Yeah.
And that's why there's like such a huge gap between like the gods and like a normal player, because the gods, are utilizing both to like maximum capacity.
Yeah.
And some players, like, I'm definitely a person who has a hard time executing, Like I'm thinking really hard, but oh, that was a nice score smash. But I can't quite keep up with my hands yet.
It's tough, and when people talk about needing more experience and stuff like that, I mean that really is it. Is like it's a I think pretty common misconception that people are in the front of their brains saying, "This is what I need to do. I need to forward smash in this situation because he's doing this," and these long, complicated things that, I mean, they take you so long to say. There's no way in your mind you have time to think all that in an instant, like in Melee. So what you have to do basically is internalize these good habits.
Yeah,
and say like, and you really do get a feel for everything that you're doing. So I think like in cases like these, Thor. I don't know how often Lunchables and Cole team with each other, but Cameron and Gabe have been, or Thoraxe and Gabe have been teaming, and they've been training partners for a very long time. So whether they front brain realize and think about the other one's habits, they're still going to be or have had the opportunity to internalize those. And I think that's when people talk about synergy and stuff like that. I mean, that's what you're doing, is you're saying, okay, he's going to do this, but you're not taking the time to think that in your mind. You just know it because you've been there 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
I think that's absolutely one of the strongest points about playing games competitively or anything. Is you didn't have like time to think of like the whole sentence or the scenario. You just have to feel it.
Yep.
If you're in Marth's forward smash range, you don't think, okay, I got to space this. You feel like you're in danger. You feel like you need to space around that.
Yeah, and that's not to say that you never do. There are absolutely times when you say to yourself, he teched left last time, or he DI'd right, or he's going to do this, and you do make that conscious guess, but you also don't have time to be thinking about your tech skill while you're doing that either. So the habits have to be internalized pretty hard to give you the opportunity to say, okay, now's my time to you have to have internalized, now's my time to think, and then make your best guess, which I also think is another kind of misnomer. We call them reads all the time and stuff like that, and it's like it's a guess, because ultimately you get into some pretty deep psychology if you start talking about like somebody's definitely going to do this every single time, because then it's like, well, does anybody have free will, like stuff like that, where it's like, I don't want a long esoteric example of why we do or don't have free will. I'm just going to say, like, last time he went left, so this time he's either going to say, okay, last time I went left, I need to go right, or he's just going to, do whatever thing pops into his head. And, like, that's another thing, is sometimes it is just in the moment you feel it, like you're saying.
Yeah, and I like the point you made about, like, there's a difference between, like, reads and engineered situations.
Sure, yeah. That's conditioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's like that, in the Falco matchup, you're going to have it a lot with when you down air them near the ledge. You pretty much expect roll in from everybody except for, the top 8 at every tournament, right? Because they're going to be the ones who have internalized, like, I need to think about not doing that because every time I do it, I get board smashed. So, it's just nice to, it's nice to think that they're having those anime moments where they've got 30 minutes to think about every single thing that's about to happen, and then the punch slows down,
Dialogue,
exactly.
The character pans to the side, talks to, what incredible synergy.
Yeah, exactly. He's so fast. Like, you don't even have time to say that in your mind, like, when you're playing Melee. You just have to be like, okay, pray, like, shield.
See, that's why Smash 4 is great, because everything's slowed down like that.
the
Zero commentators are like, wow, incredible.
Yeah, I think Zero said that about Smash 4 recently, where he was saying, it's a more intellectual game because you have more time to think. And that may be true in the sense that you're in the front of your brain more often. But I also think, like, it takes a lot of brain power to internalize good habits and to recognize, what is correct and what is not correct. And then to say, like, are the things I'm doing the most correct thing I can do? Like, if the thing that I tried worked and I got a hit, but, it didn't kill them, then is there something else I can do and, to actually get the kill? And, that's, in my opinion, what really sets the top players apart, is they'll see that something works and they'll still try other stuff. Because once they get something that, is soft back air forward smash with a spacey, then they can say like, okay, actually it was never correct to down air them there or shine them there. I should be doing that every time because it absolutely leads to a kill, you know. And you know, it's all about internalizing those good habits. And it's tough to, you know, it's even tougher in teams where a lot of times you feel like you're just spending a minute looking and seeing where everybody is to try to pick a person to go after, you know.
It is, Melee is nice because in teams, if you know your port, you know where you're going to spawn.
Yep.
But man, the beginning of like matches, before I started like really like putting a tag on every time, it was hard to tell where I was.
Yeah,
Melee's
and you have to
so
remember
fast.
like what color you were and all this other stuff.
And the fact that in this game, people will play the same character as you a lot. Like it's not like the other Smash games. Like it's kind of rare you'll see like a Ditto.
Yeah, that's interesting to know. I don't follow the other scenes, so it's interesting to know there's not a room full of foxes, you know,
yeah, for
fighting
real.
each other.
If that happened, like people would be taking like pictures all over Twitter.
That's so funny, man. I didn't even consider that, and like I would have expected that out of I guess Sheik at the beginning of Smash 4's kind of metagame when Zero was so dominant with her, but you know I would catch some of you know the finals before the Melee tournament started. I would see you know them fighting, and I mean it looked fast. You know it wasn't the same quickness.
Certain characters go fast. Fox and Sheik go fast in Smash 4. That's for sure.
Yeah, I remember watching Pac-Man and thinking like,
no
what is
no
happening?
One likes that. Yeah,
like he's just camping that fire hydrant thing, and like I don't really understand the fruit. I don't. Yeah, I didn't understand that one, and I just assumed that there are people different from me in the world, and that's okay, you know.
You know, I'm kind of glad Nintendo made Pac-Man bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if you're a Smash 4 player and you really love Pac-Man. I'm pretty sure they announced Pac-Man and everyone's dad got really excited. And then everyone else was just like, all right.
Finally
whatever.
a game I can play with my family, right?
I can't wait to connect with my son.
I remember hearing or reading an article where they were talking about Nintendo being like really concerned with Smash being like their leading title because of the kids, because of
I remember that
Sheik or Peach, you know, beating up Mario. Like, how do you explain that to a 6-year-old, or like what are they internalizing and stuff like that? Which you know I thought was actually pretty like thoughtful of them. But I also think Melee is the greatest game ever made. So
I will agree. I think Melee is also.
Yeah.
We're being a little elitist, but as someone who plays all the Smash games, like Melee's so fun.